Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. Episode 117. Today is May 1st, so I'm about 4 behind, looking to make it up this weekend. But I'm excited because I like when the first of a month falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. It's really stupid, but I feel like that's a good time for me to kickstart things like weight loss and stuff like that. This is basically going to be a filler episode where I talk about some goals I got for the summer and maybe what I didn't accomplish the last 2 months or last month. Usually I do a month in review in March or at the end of March and April. I did not do a month in review. So here we are doing maybe 2 months in review and just trying to self improve. And I think that's something you should always be doing. I think if you think that you are completely perfect and that you don't need to self improve in at least some ways, I think you're a narcissist and probably kind of a sociopath. So I'm always trying to improve. I'm not always doing well at it because there is a part of me that says I'm just too old to put a lot into self improvement. But you got to know the horrible parts of you and try to make them better. I don't have horrible parts. I'm not like I say, I'm not a terrible person, but there are things I need to work on. One is weight. It's always a struggle for me. I've never really totally gone off the deep end and gotten super fat, but I was 230. I weighed 230 about 10 years ago. That was pretty gross. Right now, I think I'm around 210. I'm going to buy a scale today. That's going to help me, I think, keep on top of myself better. I plan on getting really into workouts, and that's why I say the May 1st thing's like, ooh, I'm going to work out today, and then I'll do it tomorrow, and then I'll roll into the week and keep going. And so we're going to see how that goes. My goal is to lose 25 pounds by my birthday, which is September 25th, so it's about 5 months. It's a doable. It's not easy, but honestly, at my age, it's not easy to lose a pound a week because that's basically what it comes to. What, May, June, July, August, September? Yeah, that's 5 months to lose 25 pounds. So it's a little more than the pound a week. We'll see if we can do it. But I did it like 10 years ago, but that was a lot easier. My knees weren't shot. I was able to go running. I started the year in 2011 at 230. Like I said, I had really porked out over the past couple of years. I was working a pretty sedentary job. I was at Digital Globe mapping satellite imagery, which was great and it was very relaxing, but I had just let myself go. So yeah, 230 is pretty gross for me. I'm 5'10". I got a decent muscle mass, but yeah, 230 is just not acceptable. And so I worked really hard that year. Unfortunately, it was also the year, and probably part of the motivation, if I'm being honest with you guys and myself, was the new woman that came into my life while I was married. So yeah, that was the main motivation, to be honest. I mean, part of it was me just not wanting to be gross, but it was not wanting to be gross for her, which is kind of a slap in my wife's face, to be honest. But that's maybe another story. But yeah, throughout the year, I worked pretty hard. I ate right for the most part. I worked out a lot. I ran a lot, and then by my birthday, I was down to 194, which looked pretty good on me. And unfortunately, I have let it go the past 10 years. It hasn't, like I say, I haven't let it go to 230 proportions, but I'm probably around 210 or 215, which I've been floating around a long time. Pretty much since the late 90s, I've been around that weight, anywhere from 200 plus. Like I said, the most I ever was 230. The least I ever was 194 since probably I was married in 1996. So maybe I'm just here to stay. We'll see. I would love to be lighter, and it's not so much, you don't care about your looks at 53 as much. I mean, you still care, you still have some vanity, but it's about health at this point. It really is. I'm the fattest guy in my family. That's which is good for a family. I mean, a lot of guys, or a lot of families, I'd be the thinnest at my age, but I need to just do better. Anyway, I didn't mean to spend 4 whole minutes on weight loss. I wanted to talk about, but I did want to talk about self improvement and just talk about where I want to go with the channel. The channel will probably not change much. I do want to get better. I mentioned this like a month or two ago as well. I do want to get better at being more topical because there's only so much I can tell you about myself that's even remotely interesting. I think I've pretty much covered it in the first 100 or so episodes. I really don't, I mean, there's not much to me. I mean, I could really get into some stuff. Like I did the soccer thing, that was kind of fun, and it maybe showed you about my childhood. I could talk more about divorce and how much that hurt me, but I don't know if we really want to get so much into the needs that I had as a child and what and where I'm at as an adult because of that stuff. I think I've probably touched upon it several times. When you add up all those minutes, it's a lot of minutes. Here we are, 117 times 10 minutes. That's 1,007 or 1,170 minutes. That's like 100 hours almost, I think, or I don't know. It's more than 100 hours, like 200 hours, because 120. Anyway, sorry, math nerding out on you, but yeah, basically 120 hours, I think. Sorry, I need to stop doing that. This is where my brain goes. This is where you get a little inside uh, edition of what I'm about and how my brain works. Honestly, I have OCD a lot of times. I've dealt with that my whole life. I've been a very like a neat freak. Had to let it go. Thankfully, I was able to let it go when my kids were born, because you can't be OCD with kids and expect them to grow up to be functional because if you're cleaning up after them all the time and everything has to be perfect and symmetrical, you're not going to spend a lot of time raising them, which is what they need. So that's a little more glimpse into what I'm about, and a little more self-improvement if I can let that go some more. Maybe not go off on these type of tangents on this. Maybe I can get some more listeners and some more. I keep calling it listeners. I know it's a video. I also want to get back into my podcast. I got a few done like back in March, and then I've kind of fallen off in April. I want to get back better at that. The shows are going really well. My comedy show's really got a kick-ass show. Didn't have one last night, but back on the 23rd, we had the best one we've ever had. Sold a shitload of tickets, had a successful show, and I hope to keep that rolling through the summer. I also, I think I told you guys I'd like to write a book. I may have mentioned this. I don't know. I think I did a video like this like a week ago. Saw it as a filler episode. It didn't work out very well. It just didn't feel as good as this one does. So it's like sometimes I do this and I just cancel the video. I just don't post it because it's not worthy. This, frankly, really isn't either. It's just a catch-up episode. But it is. I am excited about this summer and having it off. I know I've mentioned that that I have the whole summer off. That hasn't happened in a very long time. Really, honestly, since school. I mean, I've had a couple of lulls of unemployment. Luckily, both of them took place when my children were about to be born, and that sounds bad, but we had the money to do it. And I happened to get fired from one job right as Logan was being born. But we were able to get by. I had some savings, and it was nice to be there for Dylan and Dante when Logan was born. So that was good. The same happened with Dante when we were back in Cleveland. I was in between jobs. I had quit moving furniture because that's horrible, and then I ended up at the movie theater. But it took a few months to get there. So that was a little tenuous. But once again, we had some savings, so we were lucky. Yeah, just been very fortunate with that type of stuff. But as far as having a summer off, it's been a very, very long time, probably since Logan was born, so 16 years. So I'm really looking forward to this. Looking forward to going and visiting my friend Josh in Grand Junction, Colorado. That's on the western slope of the mountains, so you got to go over the Rockies to get there, which is no problem in the summer. I'm looking forward to hopefully doing some road comedy, which I've never truly done, but I have a lot of people I can talk to here in Denver about possibly getting on that. My parents can semi-watch my kids if I go to maybe do a week of road comedy. I wouldn't want to take much more than that. I don't even know what it entails. I assume to make money at it, you got to couch surf on fellow comics that live in that state. I guess you got to kind of couch surf on their, and stay places where it's either minimally costly or no cost. I know that's how you get friends in this industry too, and maybe I'm too old for any of them to want to be a friend with. But I would like that experience. I think it'd be really cool to do road comedy, maybe find a couple guys my age or a little younger than me that would want to do it. I'd be willing to drive. But that's something I'm really into or really excited about. I'm excited about having a lot of time with the kids this summer. And I may start writing my second book. We'll see. But so that's a lot of the stuff I want to do. I got about a minute to wrap up. As far as the channel goes, I did mention that too. I do want to get more topical. I would love you guys to comment. Throw out a subject and I can maybe do a little research on it. Next episode, I'm going to talk about gun deaths. You guys know how I feel about gun control. If you've watched this at all, I'm all for it. We need some semblance of reasonable gun laws. I was doing research for why do we have 100 gun deaths a day in this country in what's considered probably the best country on the planet. Maybe not so much after the last 4 to 10 years. I'm not blaming Obama, a little bit blaming Trump. But why are we so upset that we are that there are members of this society that are perfectly well off? Maybe they're not rich. Maybe they don't have a girlfriend. Maybe they have issues. But we can't blame it all on mental illness. We just can't. It's the guns that make these horrific multiple slayings happen. But why is this a country that's doing so well so poorly in that regard. So going to touch on that on the next episode, 118. Thanks for listening to me babble in 117. I'll see you guys on the other side. Have a great night, day, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for watching and listening once again.